There's a new problem that has arisen in the LEGO community this past week and caused a lot of discussion online, to which many people are calling a new low regarding LEGO scalping. So in this video, I want to give you the full rundown on what this exploitation of a consumer-friendly policy is and how people are using it to buy LEGO in what I think is a pretty unethical way. I would also just like to say that I would really appreciate if you watch this full video because I'm going to be getting into a lot of different points and issues here. However, I really do still welcome your comments and thoughts on this issue because it seems to be a pretty divisive problem. So what's up LEGO fans, it's LEGOman Cam, and before I talk about what this exploit is, let me first start by clarifying our terms so that it's clear what we're talking about, because I don't want to give any people the wrong labels. To my understanding, a LEGO scalper is someone who buys up all the stock of a product when it's first released in order to immediately sell it for a profit, therefore benefiting on the limited supply. An example of this could be buying all the Gingerbread AT-ATs, a highly desired set, to sell for a higher than retail price as people really want that set before Christmas. Whereas a LEGO investor is someone buying up stock of a retiring LEGO set near the end of its shelf life in an attempt to predict sets that will rise up in value, therefore selling a set after it's no longer available for a profit. An example of this could be the Daily Bugle, a set retiring this year full of great minifigures and an iconic build that sounds like a set that could become pretty coveted later down the track. To me, the issue that I'm speaking about today falls somewhere in between a scalper and an investor, and I don't think we really have a name for it, so for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to call them scalp vestors. So what is the actual issue here? Well, this involves Target stores and their price match guarantee, a consumer-friendly program set up to safeguard customers' purchases in case a set goes on sale. So what this means is that Target has a policy where if I were to buy a set for $100, then a week later see that exact same product on sale for $60 at Target, I can return it to the store that I bought it for with my receipt for a proof of purchase and then be refunded that $40 difference, since it would be very annoying to pay significantly more for a set to later find out that it went on sale. This policy can only be used on sets that have been bought within the past 14 days and cannot be done with products that are on clearance, only products that are on sale or a regular discount. I think this is a pretty consumer friendly policy because essentially what this is doing is allowing consumers to return the product that they bought at a higher price and then buy it back immediately for that sale price. However, this policy just refunds the customer the difference to streamline that whole process. So how does this relate to LEGO scalp vestors? Well, you might be able to see where this is going, but what some people have begun to do is get insider information on what LEGO sets will go on sale ahead of time. How is this done? Well, I used to work at a retail store myself, and we'd have access to the store system where we could see what products or LEGO sets were going to go on sale, sometimes up to a week in advance. And of course, the night before a sale were to go live, employees would have to set up the ad. They would have to go around and put up different signs, points of sale, 20% off signs, and things like that. So the scalp vestor has the inside information on what sets are going to be on sale within the next 14 days, and then they proceed to go to a store, in this instance it was Target, in which they will then buy the sets that they want that are still at full price and keep the receipt. They will then wait for the sale to eventually go live. This has to be within that 14-day period, then go back to the store, bring the receipt and the sets that they bought and be refunded the difference, therefore getting all of the sets at that sale price while still being able to buy as many of the sets that they want before anyone has access to the sale. My first thought is, wow, this is an incredibly smart thing to do. However, the more that I think about it, it makes me feel pretty unethical and it's pretty exploitative. Essentially, the scalp vestors are getting early access to these sales and then buying up the product before anyone else even knows that the sale exists, taking complete advantage of Target's price match program, which has been set up by the company as a way to help consumers feel safer with their purchases, therefore buying more products, knowing that they can get a price match if the set were to go on sale immediately after they bought it. This problem gets worse when you think about what this LEGO is being used for too. Also, just quickly, if you have seen a few of my videos and enjoy them, please consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Anyway, back to the video. Could these be collectors buying a ton of sets to army build or maybe get cheap parts for a mock? Yes, that is 100% true and a possibility. But when there are videos out there of people buying multiples of the same sets through this method and then referring to these sets as inventory, that kind of language invites the thought that these sets will be likely resold later on for a profit. This is the reason why I brought up the idea of scalping versus investing at the start of the video, because this problem feels somewhere in between. If a set is put on sale or deep discount, then the set must have been available for a while. Therefore, scalping is not what this is. However, LEGO investing to me seems less severe than what's happening here, where LEGO investing involves buying sets that are about to retire and relatively unwanted, with the prediction or hope that they will become sought after once they're retired. This new problem to me feels like a really aggressive form of LEGO investing, literally buying a set before it's even available to purchase at that sale price. This isn't like seeing a set is going to be on sale and then camping out the night before or getting to the store really early the next day. This is taking complete advantage of a store's policy and exploiting it. A policy that I think we can all agree is pretty beneficial for us to have, but if this method catches on, I could easily see this price match guarantee being revoked or at least changed to some degree. Let alone the fact that if a store has very little stock of a set to begin with, and these scalp vestors buy up all the stock of it, there is literally a 0% chance for me or you to go in and buy it. LEGO is such an expensive toy, like seriously one of the priciest ones out there. So many people like myself are always waiting for sales to pick up new sets. However, if we don't even have a chance to buy these sets, I think that's pretty upsetting. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to defend a multi-billion-dollar retail giant here. These big stores have probably done tons of unethical things over the years, I'm sure. However, when people aren't going to have the chance to buy sets at a discount because someone wants to invest in them, I think that's a pretty crummy thing to do. You may be thinking, well, the set is still available, just at a higher price and now probably being sold by a third party, which is totally true. When you think about a kid looking to buy a cheap LEGO set, they're not the kinds of people that are going to be looking on eBay or whatnot or Facebook Marketplace. You may be thinking as well, if these sets are about to go on sale, they probably weren't selling well in the first place. However, my problem here is that this is occurring before the general public are even aware of these sales, plus the fact that these big box retailers make their profits by pushing quantity of product. This is why Black Friday sales and a lot of November sales occur, because stores are looking to clear the shelves to fill more stock for Christmas time, getting people to spend around Black Friday thinking about Christmas, but still come into a stocked store in late December to grab those last minute gifts. So overall for me, I simply just think this is pretty unethical, and I don't see how it can be helping anyone other than the person buying all of these sets. I have bought LEGO before and I have sold it. I'm not against the idea of LEGO investing, but when it's fundamentally impacting the hobby for so many other people in a negative way, I feel like there should be at least a discussion about this exploitative behavior. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this issue in the comments though. Do you think this is just good game and people need to be quicker, or do you think this is taking things too far? If you did enjoy the video though, please consider subscribing. We are getting really close to 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I will see you in the next one.